thank the Class of 72 Committee for organizing last night's event. Thanks to everyone who contributed to this event as well, especially Lois Bowers for faithfully organizing this event for over 10 years. We are more than just the Hastings High School class of 1972. The paths our lives have taken to get here have covered for most of us 68 years. As I relate a stream of consciousness of memories from my own life, please feel free to think about or talk about with your table mates your own recollections of your path to this point. I'll also include some memories submitted at last night's reunion dinner. We're going to start in 1954 with Roger Bannister runs the first sub 4-minute mile. I started with my parents, Don and Dorothy Reed, sibling Steve, and eventually Dan, Cindy, and Carolyn. 1959, there was a plane crash killing musicians Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, J.P. Richardson, and their pilot. I had kindergarten at Chittister with Mrs. Karcher. We had one landline rotary phone with 2 rings on the party line phone. Riding my bike to school. Broke my arm in the 2nd grade jumping out of a school playground swing. Watching space launches on black and white TV on one of 2 channels. Hearing news of JFK's death.
The flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Classmates Bob Terry, Kip Rose, Barbara Greiner, Cheryl Heacock. In 1965, the first U.S. combat troops arrive in Vietnam. Consolidation comes to Hastings area schools. Riding the school bus for the first time. 6th grade at Northeastern with Mrs. Havens. 1966, all cigarette packs in the U.S. have to carry a warning. Junior high at Central School. French class with Mr. Oliver, jumping out his classroom windows and getting my first and only detention. Music with Mr. Moyer. First organized basketball in Bob King's Y program on Saturdays with Doug Welton's Purple Dogs. Denny Armstrong throwing the football during lunchtime. Watching Lilies of the Field from the balcony in Central Auditorium. 1968, Vietnam Tet Offensive. Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy assassinated. Apollo 8 circles the moon. Finally, we reach high school. First 2 years in the old high school, where both my parents attended as well, and Mrs. Young's 10th grade English and her weekly theme assignments. Here are some memories from last night's 50th Hastings High School reunion dinner at the Waldorf. Dress code abolished in our freshman year. The great times we had when we were building our floats for homecoming. The cool gym suits. Had building trade class at North Broadway and North Street with Mr. Mulnex. The built house was sold before the year ended. Steve Cunningham and Pete Lambert participated in solo ensemble competition. Steve always played the piano for Pete. Going to Herb Moyer's house after the last operetta performance, and he would direct the class in a song in his front yard after he had had a few. Slid out of honor study hall to Penny, Janice Droland's class in their room. To Penny is to stack pennies in the door so it won't open. In the junior-senior play, Up the Down Staircase, played Lenny. Fell out of chair and got big laughs from the audience. Class of 72 was the rose between 2 thorns. Class of 71 and 73 caused all the trouble. We won the Battle of the Bands. Rich Rohde, Ed McHugh, Tom Robinson, Doug Welton, Bob Hubert. Bob Allen's first beer at Greg Bush's house with Carl Norris our senior year. Bob got sick. And Greg and Carl were laughing their behinds off as we kept drinking and laughing. Being the second graduating class in the new high school, so proud of this school. Chuck Heath tucked his graduation gown in his breeches. We had a study hall in that huge room in the old high school. JV basketball with Sticks Bolton. 1970, the Beatles break up. First year in the new high school. Sweezy's Pond. Coach Ernie Strong's varsity basketball team wins the Gull Lake District. Driver's ed with Mr. Francic. Mr. Camp's physics class squirt gun fight. Rick Rohde and I get caught even before we walk in the door. Selling confetti for the National Honor Society at home football games. Honor Study Hall above the library. Student council meetings with Mayor Denny Armstrong. Juggling in the all-school talent show organized by Joe Kesnick. Bob Vanderveen presides over graduation. 1972 Munich Olympics terrorist attack. Last year of military draft. I had a high draft number. On to post K-12 education life. I went to Kalamazoo College. Student teaching at Hastings High School for Mr. Camp, physics, and Mr. Metzger, algebra. 38 years of teaching math, science, and computer science, ranging from grade 7 to community college. Living in Illinois, Michigan, North Carolina. Getting married. Adopting 2 brothers. Grandkids. I'm aware that not everyone has only fond memories of their K-12 time of life or since then. Life for all of us has had its ups and downs. Downs for me was colon cancer, losing both parents, a child, a sibling, among several of our high school classmates. Ups for me were cancer-free for 19 years, traveling Europe, Russia, India, and Africa. And here we are, a toast to the class of Hastings High School 1972. As we remember all the teachers, parents, siblings, school staff, bus drivers, coaches, employers, classmates, and everyone else that contributed to our path through life, let us look forward to the lives that we can still influence in a positive way for the rest of our life. Cheers.